You never know who you're impacting, and I think I received confirmation of that this past week. I really wanted to share something that happened this past week with a coworker, because I think a lot of us are wondering whether we're really making a difference when it feels like we're just talking into the void at times. And this is really something that gave me confirmation that I'm on the right path, or that my journey is going where it's supposed to go. In my past, my past many YouTube videos, I've been talking about being in this in-between phase, not really knowing if my videos are even being received, are people even watching them, feeling like, am I actually making an impact? And I was thinking about that last week. I was really just sitting here and thinking, honestly, am I really making a difference? Are my videos reaching who they're meant to reach? Because it really does feel, it really does feel like we're just talking, and it kind of feels like we're shouting into the void when you're sitting here just talking to a camera, And that's how it feels sometimes. It feels like you're just talking to a camera. You forget at times that, hey, you're putting this video out and you're hoping, I'm truly hoping that it's reaching whoever it's meant to reach. I think that when you create anything, whether it be, videos, art, or whether you're just wanting to help people, even just showing up as yourself, you sometimes wonder if anyone is receiving it, if you're actually making a difference, if you're actually making an impact. And I feel like that's a very human thing to feel, a very human emotion to feel. Are you actually reaching people? Are people actually receiving your words? That's what I'm on this journey for. I'm on this journey to, find the people that I'm meant to impact, the people that are meant to consume my videos. If this video has found you, I hope that it helps you in some way. But let's go back to the story. So, last week, I think it was Tuesday, my coworker had reached out to me because she was out the previous day and wanted to know if she had missed anything during our meeting. And I did update her. I let her know, yeah, these things had happened, our groups had met. And unprompted, her next message to me was, hey, by the way, I'm a watcher and supporter of your videos, and I wanted to know how much you would charge for a reading. And, initially I was like, what do you mean? I was like, what do you mean you watch my videos? Mind you, I've been working with this girl. We've become really great co-workers. We work really well together. We've been working together since, I think, 2022, maybe. And we don't actually work together. We're not in office. I work from home. She works from home. We have never actually physically met each other. But, we know what each other looks like. We've kept each other updated on our lives, because we've become really close as co-workers, working together in this department here. And so I was like, yeah, of course, I would love to do a reading for you. I wasn't even going to ask her for anything. She insisted, but, I was like, of course I'll do a reading for you. Yeah. What are you looking for? And I also asked her what her signs were, because I love to know. Me, I'm a Cancer Pisces. I'm a Pisces rising, Cancer sun, Pisces moon. So I feel through everything. I use my intuition. And I feel everything. And so I asked her, I knew she was a Capricorn sun. I knew her birthday, she's in Capricorn. And so I asked her, do you know your big three? I just wanted to get more information. And so she sent me her chart. And she said basically she was asking for clarity and guidance on, next steps, and wanting to know if, the path that she is on is the correct path, wanting to know, some setbacks, basic, clarity, guidance on her path. And so I was like, okay, great. I would love to do that. Let me take out my cards, girl, and do a reading for you. Initially, I was hesitant, as I always am when I read for other people, because I know inside of myself that I am intuitive. I know that I, trust my intuition. I trust my gut, because she's always right. But reading for others, I always have this hesitancy, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what if it doesn't resonate? What if she doesn't even, what if they don't, they're looking at me like, this is actually not even what I was asking for, And so I always have that hesitation reading for other people. And she is a triple earth. She's a Capricorn rising, a Capricorn sun, and a Taurus moon. And I was like, girl, No wonder you have trouble listening to your intuition because you're a triple earth sign. I can see that. You have heavy Capricorn energy. And so I grabbed one of my decks here. It was this one, Finding Magic in the Mundane. That was just the first deck I was drawn to. When I was thinking about her in my mind, I was like, okay, let me just tune into her energy, you know, trying to think. And I grabbed my deck and I grabbed it, and the card at the bottom was the number 15, the attachment card. And that immediately I thought of, oh my gosh, that correlates to, in my mind, the devil card in tarot, which is Capricorn energy. You know, the shadow side of a Capricorn is, you know, is the devil, is your toxic traits, the things that you're attached to. What do you have trouble letting go of? And Capricorn is very, you know, practical. They love to be logical in next steps. You know, they want things done in order. And they tend to hang on to a lot of things that don't necessarily need to be hung on to. And same with a Taurus. You know, a Taurus rules the second house. You know, it's self-worth, it's material things, it's, you know, things that matter to you, right? And so when I told her about the card and I sent her the photo, she was like, oh my gosh, already, you know, this is resonating. And again, it wasn't something that I was even promoting. You know, I'm not promoting readings. I'm not, you know, promoting myself as a tarot reader or an oracle reader. This is just something that I do for my own self and for, you know, the people that I know, people that I love. You know, if they want a reading, if they want to see what's happening for clarity, guidance, of course, I would love to. And so I did. You know, I sat here. I did, you know, I saged and I did some Palo Santos. I grabbed out a few oracle decks that I felt drawn to, my tarot deck. And I sat down here and I filmed, I think a 10-minute reading. And then I filmed a 5-minute reading separately because, you know, you're on your phone and I didn't even know how long I could send it in a text message or even if I could. So I did. I don't really remember what I said, you know, because again, it wasn't for me to hear. It was just for me to talk about, to channel, to give her the guidance that she was looking for and asking for. And so I sent it to her via an iCloud link, and just her, you know, she sat, she watched the videos, and she sent me a text message, you know, basically saying confirmation. You know, she was like, oh my gosh, you know, just listening to the reading, she was in literal tears. It resonated so much. Some of the cards that I pulled had, you know, butterflies and feathers and talking about signs and reminders and synchronicities. And it really resonated with her because it was confirmation on things that she was feeling. And I was like, oh, like it made me really emotional because it was confirmation for me too, because I was questioning myself, as I often do. I was really questioning myself. I was like, okay, you know, am I really making a difference? Am I really making an impact, you know, with my videos here? I'm hoping, you know, and I do get the occasional comment, you know, I get some views, but I just would love to see confirmation, you know, in the physical world that I'm actually making a difference. And so her reaching out to me unprompted, you know, seeing me, you know, I guess seeing me as an intuitive person who she trusts and can trust, really, you know, really touched me, like really, like for real, like it was real confirmation. It was the meaning behind it. Like she decided to reach out to me and trusted me to provide, you know, that clarity and guidance that she was seeking. And gosh, and even afterwards, you know, she still insisted. She was like, I still want to send you something. I want to send you a donation. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, yeah, you know, of course. I have, you know, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, Apple Pay. I have all the things. If you would like to send something, you know, that would be greatly appreciated. But of course, I'm not expecting anything. Like anything you send me will be much appreciated. And here I you know, I was thinking like $5, you know, maybe $5, $10. This girl sent me $30 for the reading. And I was aghast. I'm like, my flabbers, gassed. Okay. I was like, girl, what do you mean? Like, why would you even send me that much? I was like, thank you so much. Like it was more than I even thought that she would send me. But, you know, it also correlates to, hey, you know, that was what she felt, you know, that it resonated so much with her that she felt like she still wanted to send me something. And that was amazing. real confirmation for me, like truly, that I am making an impact, that, you know, people are watching my videos. Now, I knew, you know, I sent this to her again. Like I said, we've talked about our aspirations, you know, outside of our 9 to 5. So I sent her my links, you know, 11:11 on my timer here. I sent her, you know, all the links, all the things. It's confirmation for you too. Are you watching this? If you're watching this, that was confirmation for you. 11:11. Look at that. You know who you are, girl. You know, if you're watching it, you know who you are. But yeah, again, confirmation, signs, synchronicities. You know, I will see these signs and synchronicities usually all day, every day. I talk about this often. I will see it all the time. Whether I'm looking for it or not, I think my brain is just naturally attuned to looking for synchronicities and signs now. But, you know, just thinking about the impact that we make on others when we're not even really noticing it. A lot of times, you know, as a creator as well, I think that we think that our impact has to be huge, has to be this like big ripple effect for it to really resonate, you know, views, comments, you know, subscribers, of course, you know, we want to grow. But sometimes the biggest impact is literally just one person reaching out to let you know that, hey, you know, I watch your videos. You are actually making an impact, you know, keep going. She was saying that she watches my videos because she can resonate and, you know, she appreciates my vulnerability and my authenticity, you know, just being on here, being myself, literally showing up as me. Like, this is literally me. And also, this might be a little longer video than usually, but this is a yap. You know, this is a yap. I wanted to share something else that happened just this past weekend. So this past weekend we went to the Flavors of Aloha here at Craig Ranch, and I got this white jade bracelet. I've been looking for jade. I've been looking for a jade bracelet specifically, and there was a booth there selling bracelets and jewelry, and I walked straight into the booth. I walked straight to the jade bracelets, introduced myself. I was like, hey girl, to the girl that was working the booth, and she was like, I love your energy and I love your outfit. And I was like, girl, thank you. I love your energy and your outfit, okay? And so we were just chitter-chatting as girls do. And I immediately saw this bracelet and I was like, okay, this is the one. You know me, I go off of instinct. My intuition was like, this is the one, and that's the one I got. And so I paid for the bracelet. It came out to $44.55, girl. $44.55. And I saw that and I was like, look at that. I love that for us. Look at that. Anyway, yes, I got me a new white jade bracelet. I love her. I love her so much. It has a little crack already, a little internal fissure, but she has some dark gray veining. She's cloudy, but she also has like sparkle on here too. You know, it's just really drawn to this jade here. Anyways, so we were hanging out with our besties, the Deckers, and so they came over to the house. And as we were chitter-chattering, as we usually do, Bianca told me that this past, I think she said, I don't know, sometime the last week, when I posted my link to my last video, Maybe You're Not Stuck, Maybe You're Transforming, I posted it on my Instagram and Facebook. Just, you know, just the link, just to see if somebody wanted to watch it. She said she clicked it and she ended up putting it on like an autoplay. She put on her headphones and was doing things around the house. She said it felt like we were literally just, she was like, oh, it's like I'm on FaceTime with Britt. And I was like, yeah, girl, because it's literally this, 15:15. It's just, I was like, first of all, what do you mean you watch my videos? That's exactly what I did with my coworker. I was like, first of all, what do you mean you watch my videos? Like, second of all, thank you for watching my videos. But it's still difficult for me to see myself as a creator when I'm such a consumer of YouTube videos. Like I am on YouTube all the time. I will watch YouTube videos all the time. I will watch my favorite YouTubers all the time. But to see myself as a YouTuber, as an actual creator who is making an impact, is something that I'm still getting used to. And that was like the whole wrap up of last week. Actually, Saturday was a new moon, wasn't it? It was a new moon in Taurus, and I bought me this white jade bracelet. And I was spending it with some of my favorite people. I love that for me. I hope that you're doing that too. I hope that you are spending time with your favorite people, the people that you love, because it all comes back full circle, truly. You truly never know who's watching, honestly, truly. Because I mean, like I said, even though I am putting myself out there, of course, I am creating content. I am hoping that these videos reach those who they're meant to reach, and hoping that you find something within here that resonates with you, that helps you on your journey. That is all I can hope for. And I really do hope that it happens for you. Like, I really hope that you are going and moving forward. If you've been feeling unseen, if you've been wondering whether what you're doing matters, this is your reminder that it does matter. This is your reminder that you do make an impact, that people are watching. You're still here. Thank you so much for being here. Please consider subscribing, comment, leave a like, share with someone who you think that this video will help. It was just last week was a real eye-opening week. Again, there's so many reflections, so many things that's happening, so many things that I'm shifting and working through internally, that even though you don't see it externally, it is still happening. Girl, it is crazy. But thank you again so much for being here. Please subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you guys in the next one, friends. Bye.